Hey everyone, wanted to do a short video here as I had two really good questions. I was on a call today. It's kind of a cool call. I got interviewed by the head of our networking group for our networking group. Talk a little more about financial coaching. I had two good questions. I won't name them in case they see this video too, but they were really good questions, and I wanted to kind of talk about it so more people could see it. Um, So the first question went along the lines of basically me and my partner, you know, we have, joint finances, but my partner pays all these bills and all that. And then I, take care of some healthcare stuff or take care of the healthcare bills and all that. And the question was essentially was, can you make it work like that? It wasn't really necessarily like separate finances or anything. And the short answer is yeah. I mean, I've seen people make it work, even on separate finances. But what you want to make sure, and what I told this person was, you got to make sure that number one thing I recommend is make sure everything is disclosed and that you and your partner are upfront about everything, saying, listen, we can make this work with these bills being paid here and this being paid. And I think I can make it work, together and make sure that everything is coincide with each other, but we have to be upfront with each other. Like, what are our goals and expectations? And because you're my partner, joint things are still joint, you guys, right? And so you want to make sure that your goals are still joint. I mean, what is your goals? What that might look like in the next year or 2 years or 3 years or 5 years down there. And you want to disclose everything up front. So if you get into a relationship, start conjoining finances, you do this setup, keep some stuff separate, pay the bills separate, whatever you do, you got to tell everyone about your past, right? This is your partner now. This might be your married partner, your spouse. And so you got to tell people up front. And, especially like me, for example, I gave the example during the conversation today that I run my own business, right? And so I have like a little business credit card that I use here and there, pay down, pay off. But I tell my wife everything. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is how much income we budget, right? So I bring the business side still into it and just say, hey, I need out of our income or whatever this month I have this conference or I have this I gotta worry about making sure is paid, I guess you could say. So part of this income over here is going to need to be set aside for that. And that's how we work together. It's just being upfront with everybody, with each other, excuse me, and just saying, this is what it is and this is what I have. Or if you're new to a relationship, I have a student loan or I have a debt. You got to accept me who I am and vice versa. So always including your partner in everything in all the conversation and just make sure you're not hiding anything. Um, so yeah, it can work. I've seen it work. And then the other question was along the lines of basically, okay, let's say like, I was talking about freeing up when people work with me, they start freeing up some money each month in their budget. And the person on the call asks, let's say they free up $300 eventually after working with you for a while, a month. Does that $300 like go towards debt, or is there a designated place for it, or does it depend on the person? And I answered, it depends on the people, right? It depends on the couple. Every single one I talk about is individualized. Everyone is different. Every single person. Everyone has a different scenario where you and your wife or husband might have two kids. And the next couple I work with or the next individual has no kids. And so kids are really expensive, right? So what I told this person was like it works based on per person, right? So it doesn't mean like if I free up $300 with Joey over here that okay, the next thing is you put it towards your credit card debt, pay it down, pay it off. That's what we're gonna do. There's no one way to do it because maybe what Joey needs is take that $300 and maybe Joey's almost 50 years old, doesn't have much of retirement, and we'd rather to put it to his retirement. And so it all depends on, we look at that up front really early on. I hear for it, I listen to it in the complimentary chat, I figure out what your real goals are, what you're struggling with. And then in their first session or two, I really listen in and see, okay, if we free up some money for these people, what's next in line? 6 to 12 months down the road. What is the next goal that's going to get them over? And that's how kind of how I work with. Excuse me, got some allergies. And that was basically how I answered that question. Two really good questions. Like there's no specific way in that second one of like, no, you have to throw it to the debt. Yeah, there's no like ladder where it's like the same plan for everyone. Nope, you got to put it towards debt. Nope, you got to put it towards retirement. We really just got to look at what your priorities are and figure out early on the first few months where is the first thing that we can attack, and then let's move on to the next thing. And sometimes, if it works out well in the months 2 and 3 or so of our coaching, guess what? You can do both. A little bit of pay down the debt, put a little bit towards emergency savings, and really hit your goal. So I thought that was two great questions. I wanted to make a quick video on it. Maybe I'll do this a little bit more, I think. I think at once a week, just hop on, talk about two questions or two comments I've heard while I'm networking and working with clients and stuff. I think this will be good just to answer some questions that a lot of people have on their mind, because I'm sure those two people are not the only two people that have those questions. So I will see you on the next video though, and stay tuned for more great activity here on the Madeline Financial Coaching YouTube. And I'll see you next time. Thanks. Have a good day.